I want to have this conversation with you about understanding our costs as a chance to hear from the person who's the champion of the project what this is all about. What is the project Understanding Our Costs?
Right, well, we began in Network Housing Group with a limited understanding of our cost structures, so that it was very functionally based. And so we needed to really look at our services, which were cross-functional. And the thing that the executive team here didn't have was a very clear understanding of how the costs could be allocated cross-functionally, so we could see an end-to-end process and an end-to-end service that was being delivered. And activity-based costing does that, and it's a very clear method to actually be able to see your full costing. And we badged it here with understanding our costs. So we went out to the business and we said, we're not doing this technical activity-based costing exercise. What we actually want to do is to understand how we spend our money. So we called it Understanding Our Costs. And we began a journey of looking at each of the individual business areas and documenting the activities that people undertook and those services that the activities fell within. And the interesting thing is that people were very open with us. You know, we went out there, as you know, we did lots of questionnaires, and we had discussions with team leaders about what they saw were the key services. But it did enable us to put Network on a page. You know, we could join up all of the services that we're providing and look at, you know, front and back office in one place, so that we could understand where the costs were actually falling.
How's it helping? How's it helping Network?
It's helping us because we wanted to do a couple of things. One is we wanted detailed costing so that we could undertake business performance reviews. So there were services that we were providing, and we just didn't know whether we were actually getting value for money, whether it be income management or repair service or a back office service like you know, the month-end processing accounts. And because we've clearly laid out the costs, we've allocated and apportioned, we can now see the metrics, the KPIs that go with those services, and we can benchmark those against other housing providers and see whether we're actually providing the right value in terms of service and the costs that we're using. The other thing is that we have embarked on a wider internal review, and you know, the second aspect of what we're looking at is overhead, because we have a decentralised structure and we have elements of duplication across the business, and understanding our costs has actually shown all the activities that people are doing, and therefore we can see all the points of duplication around the business. So it's giving us a clear insight into where the hidden overhead is in this business, because we're duplicating. And the third thing is that there's a wider restructure being discussed around the business now, and we're looking at how we can actually streamline our business for the next 5 years. And the understanding our cost data is being used by a project team who are looking at actually restructuring various areas of the business so they can see what the best in class is out there from benchmark data and how we need to cut cost in order to be in top quartile. So,
do you think it's changing people's understanding of our costs? Are you seeing a change of thinking at senior levels here about cost, the way cost is driven and the cost structures in the place?
It has changed the conversation around the table in terms of people then saying, well, what are the knock-on impacts of a decision that's being made? How does that service then get provided? It's also meant that we're now talking openly around elements of the service that we provide that we can centralise into one place, because we are a decentralised structure. So we're talking about the back office administration around providing a service and how we can bring that into one place to get better value for money. And it's making executives think very clearly about the structure of the organisation and what they would like it to look like in the future. So it's having many influences.
What are the messages for the sector around the sorts of disciplines that you're building up in Network? Are these disciplines that other organisations in the sector are going to need?
They every organisation's definitely got to understand their costs. The business reviews that I've seen, and they've been very effective, but the ones that I've seen have been fairly pointed, looking at a particular service, and you could quite easily miss a trick, because you will look at a particular service like repairs and not then join that up with how the business reacts to how the repair service is being provided. So I can give you an example of that. You know, if the repairs service is fairly loose and it's not tight, and the processes have lots of duplication, and you say, right, we're going to automate, we're going to put in a new piece of software around repairs, you don't then consider the departments outside of the repairs function and what that means to them, because it could completely change the way the contact centre has to then work, and the repair service could just be looking at what they do in repairs and driving lots of efficiency there, but it's adding lots of costs somewhere else. And that's a classic thing in any business where you see that if you just look at one improvement and you don't consider how the process is changing and affecting other people, you could cause a whole load of cost elsewhere, basically.
Alan, that's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you.